Mea Culpa. February 3, 2020 by Anna von Reitz. So now Kim Possible and Tommy are misquoting something I said, embroidering it beyond any recognition and imputing all sorts of vile motivations to me in the middle of their imagination. They are frustrated. And it never occurs to them that maybe the problem lies within themselves. Maybe they aren't doing the right thing for the right reasons, so they are getting short-circuited. The truth is that, yes, I am blocking things, not in the way and not for the motivations that Kim and company have attributed to me, but yes, both Kim and I are blocking things from progressing. Women block things. Men release things. The more important and interesting question is, why are we blocking progress that would, in theory, help everyone on this planet? Kim is blocking progress unconsciously. And I am blocking Kim, because I am conscious. It's time for the Earth and the people on it to experience new energy and new direction. It is literally time for what is called a new era or age to begin, and most of us have heard this for a long time, the age of Aquarius. We are living in a time that is literally called the turning of the age. During the turning of the age, new energies and new guardians come into play as one kind of energy and focus shifts into a new key, so to speak. Life shifts into a new chord progression. A new song begins. We are leaving behind the age of Pisces and the lingering influences of earlier ages, too. Pisces is a domain of illusions and delusions, a watery world that is dim and fertile and veiled. Think of trying to see underwater, and you will get the flavor of it. All the unresolved struggles and aims of humanity cycle through Pisces, where we revisit our largely subconscious struggles. For the past 200 years we have been revisiting the issues of slavery and control versus learning to make free will choices and allowing others to do the same. This is not the first time that humanity has addressed these themes. We all know about the slavery in the Deep South. We should all know that Rome was built by slaves, Washington, D.C. and Wall Street were built by slaves, the Roman Catholic Church was largely built by voluntary slaves, who called themselves bondsmen of Christ. So as we have readdressed this duality between free will and enslavement, there have been many wars and struggles that, whether people know it or not, were all about slavery at a very basic level. The powers and guardians and forces that have dominated our world for centuries have been obsessed and polarized between the energies of freedom, and the energies of enslavement, stumped by the concept of free men as kings in their own right. Right now, there are many persons in our world who are still fixated on this, people who have devoted their lives to creating a new system of corporate feudalism in order to enslave and control everything and everyone for their own enrichment. They have created a bicameral ruling council, similar to a parliament, where there is a House of Lords made up of hereditary princes and nobles, and a House of bankers and industrialists. Between them, they propose to own and control the entire planet, with all the real power being wielded by the same hereditary poobahs that have been profiting from and promoting slavery all along. This is just their latest iteration of the same old same old. They have already contrived to own everyone and everything on paper and have done this by a system of fraud and false claims in commerce and organized racketeering under color of law. That's really where things sit, worldwide. We have a gang of criminals in control, but here's the point, they have no right or authority to do any of this. In fact, free will is already universal law. The issue of slavery, or not, is already decided. The only place it isn't decided is in their minds. Bottom line, they may still be clinging and rehashing and trying to bring themselves and their system of enslavement for profit forward, but their time to dominate the earth is literally over and it is time for them to leave the stage. The new guardians and the new creative energies have come. The turning of the age has come, with their druthers or without them. The so-called indigo children are here for their shift and they have no notion of slavery, no tradition of enslaving others, no attachment to the issue of slavery at all. They don't believe in it. Slavery is no longer the issue for the new time we are facing, nor is it even on the agenda. We are now well and truly launched into the age of Aquarius and there is no going back to the dreamy, delusional, secretive, self-absorbed, ego-driven, semi-conscious, fearful, spiteful, self-aggrandizing, insecure, hypocritical, dishonest, infantile age of Pisces, and all the slave and control systems that made it run. It's gone and every day that passes, its influence wanes, and its focus dissolves. You might as well try to capture a sunbeam as try to bring back the age of Pisces, and frankly, for my part, good riddance. I am sorry that there are still souls so dead and dumb that they think that they can get ahead by enslaving others, but it really is over 150 years since slavery was abolished in America, and almost 100 years 1926 after both slavery and involuntary peonage were outlawed worldwide, 200 years after press ganging was outlawed. I am sorry that there are souls so traumatized and fearful that they think they have to control everything and everyone. You can see them walking around anxious, hand-wringing, victims of unbalanced psychotic obsession, wild-eyed women who look as unhinged as the heroine in a Stephen King movie, mumbling about climate change when it's clear that they know nothing whatsoever about science and are simply scared out of their wits by these devious, self-interested, money-grubbing priests and politicians. Well, bah humbug to all that, too. Certain people who are trying to put Kim in power and use her to control the flow of assets throughout the world, all according their direction and for their benefit, of course, still haven't heard the news, blinked their eyes, and taken in the turning of the age. This is literally a new time and new energies are flooding through the world. There's no point in trying to fight it or to cling to what is already gone. It's a new school year. New teachers. New things to learn. New horizons and capabilities opening up. New subjects. A whole new world is being born and the old world is passing away. Those who are fixated on slavery, and still trying to benefit themselves from it, will have to review its evils on their own time, like a remedial reading class. The rest of us have already entered the new time-space and are forging ahead. This new world is not part of the old world. It doesn't depend on the lies and mechanisms of the Piscean age, and isn't actually growing out of those systems at all. There is a severance in place between then and now. The new world doesn't look back to the departed purported glories of Rome with any fondness or nostalgia. It doesn't regard the end of perpetual war with any regret. It doesn't credit or condemn anyone for their ancestors, or their color, or their religious beliefs. Instead, the new era looks at each one of us and asks in a friendly way, "Who are you? What can you contribute to a better tomorrow?" Kim and those sponsoring her, people who have actually attempted to steal the wealth of the world and make themselves out good fellows by distributing what is literally other people's money, aren't functioning in harmony with the honest and logical energy of Aquarius. They are still mucking around in Pisces. And yes, I blocked them. I will continue to block them and anyone else who wants to enslave the world and use other people's money to do it. I will poo-poo any bogus arbitrary reset, too. Any chipping of people like cattle. Any intrusion into our privacy or claim of right over our bodies. Those are all actions and thought patterns of Pisces. And Pisces is officially out the door now. That's why these wheeler dealers feel like they are swimming upstream against a mighty, silent tide of cold molasses. That's why they are exposed on every side and stumbling and stammering and unable to cope. That's why nothing works for them anymore. That's why their methods and assumptions don't work anymore. The world changed for the better while they weren't looking. Their topics and schemes and lies don't matter anymore. That's why their political parties are falling apart. That's why nightly news viewership is down 80% and the New York Times is rapidly becoming a financial black hole for its owners. Like dinosaurs, they've had their day. And now, it's over. I bypassed them. And blocked them. And so can you. Please consider making a small donation to help support Anna von Reitz and the Living Law Firm, by visiting theamericanstatesassembly.net, scroll to the bottom and click on the Donate Now button. Thank you. If you enjoy having Anna's latest articles made into videos, please consider making a purchase from Ed's website sacredintuitiveelements.com. Thank you.